We're ready.
Date? I don't have anything.
I had it all written out for you.
Yeah, okay, it's Monday, December 18th. We're in the second floor conference room. We'll call to order the Personnel and Finance Committee meeting, and we'll start with introductions.
Sarah Terry, Ward 1.
James Cromford, Community Development Director.
Patrick Wasso, Interim City Administrator.
Connie Hillman, City Finance Director.
Alderman at Large, Kevin Stunek.
Chris Schubert, HR Director.
Teresa Burke, Brainerd Dispatch.
Okay, Johnson, Chair of the Committee. We have 7 quick items, the first of which is to approve a shared service agreement with the Brainerd Economic Development Authority. James.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So at the December 7th EDA meeting, the board authorized fully funding the shared service agreement with the City of Brainerd for 2024 in the amount of $17,000. Staff did include a list of services that city employees provide to the EDA. So recommendation is to approve the 2024 shared services agreement with the EDA in the amount of $17,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next up on the agenda is to accept the resignation of Assistant Planner Dylan Edwards. James. Chris, who wants it?
Chris gets it.
All right.
So, good evening. Dylan Edwards, our Assistant Planner in the Community Development Department, recently submitted his resignation, with his last working day being last Friday, December 15th. Staff recommends that the council accept Mr. Edwards' resignation and authorize staff to begin the hiring process to backfill the position. In addition to that, we have did a slight adjustment to the job description. We included those changes in your packet as well. So at this time, we're asking to accept Mr. Dylan Edwards' resignation, authorize staff to process or start to backfill the position, and to update the job description.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, Chris. Third item is to consider using local program income funds for the demolition of a structure at 426 B Street. James.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Brainerd HRA has purchased property at 426 B Street in Brainerd, which is blighted due to a fire that occurred early in 2023. Pictures have been provided in the packet. The HRA intends to demolish the burned structure and bring the property back to essentially a buildable level, and then resell it to Lakes Area Habitat for Humanity for a single-family home. The Brainerd HRA requested authorization from the EDA to utilize local income dollars up to 50% of the hard cost for asbestos abatement and demolition, not for the purchase of the property. So demolition of the house structure with a cap of $15,000 from the City of Brainerd. At the December 7th EDA meeting, the board made a recommendation to use local program income funds for 50% of the hard cost for asbestos abatement and demolition of the structure at 426 B Street, not to exceed $15,000.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, James. You can go upstairs now.
Yeah. No.
You are just.
See ya. Next up, oh, we don't have a police chief, huh?
That's me.
Oh, Patrick, next up
You're
is
the police chief,
Joint
interim
Powers
police
Agreement.
chief too?
Wow.
I'm representing the police chief. This item is on your agenda tonight for discussion purposes. The Joint Powers Agreement itself has a built-in automatic renewal clause for an additional 2 years. The committee that is working with this group, or for this group, is not recommending a change, but I wanted to make sure that you were aware that it's there, and that it has a 2-year renewal clause unless we had some questions, but we don't have questions. I'm just trying to make sure you don't. But at this time, the committee is responsible for this has no adjustments.
So is this a discussion item or is it a yes?
We are informed. If you have any concerns, now is the time to bring it up, because it's the renewal time.
Okay.
That
Okay.
is it.
Thank you, Patrick. Next up is the new earned sick time policy. Chris.
The new earned sick and safe time law was approved during the 2023 Minnesota legislative session and goes into effect on January 1st, 2024. Since that time, the Minnesota Department of Labor and Industry, as well as employers, have been scrambling to determine how this complex law should be implemented. Staff is trying to determine the best way to implement the law with our payroll software while complying with union contracts. Staff plans to provide the actual ESST policy for council consideration at your January 2nd meeting. With that said, at this time, we wanted to at least let you know that there were 3 different options that we could utilize for the ESST. Staff is recommending to utilize option 1, which is the accrual and carryover option. Basically, that ESST accrues at the rate of 1 hour for every 30 hours worked, up to 48 hours per year for the first year. And then there's an 80-hour carryover maximum thereafter. As I mentioned, staff is trying to implement that option 1 unless the council feels that a different option should be utilized. There's really no action needed at this time unless you think there should be a different option.
And our existing leave policy covers this, right? We don't have to do anything extra or special.
We do
except
have
for
to do
track.
extra, and that's because
The
the
tracking,
county,
I see
as an
that.
example, uses PTO.
Right.
So you can use it for anything. We don't have PTO,
Oh,
we have
'cause it's-
vacation and sick leave. So we have to adopt our sick leave policy a little bit or modify it
Got it.
to say some hours are towards ESST and some are for the regular sick, and how that complies with union contract provisions.
Okay.
To the nearest $100,000, how much money is this going to cost us over and above what we already pay out in benefits?
Well, we already offer the sick leave, and we offer 8 hours. We're saying that this new ESST would be part of that 8 hours. We're not adding on top of that. If you did
Our options are 0 and 100,000.
It's not gonna cost anything because everybody's budgeted to work 22,080 hours.
Except for it's gonna affect the part-timers that work in the summer and that kind of thing. So, but it's not the $100,000 mark.
But you'd have to pay out up to that 40 whatever, however much they earned.
But
You
they're
only
not-
pay it out if you do the accrual on the front end.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's the same sick leave policy that we've been using between the city and the employee policy manual and the union contracts. We only pay out sick leave if it is at retirement or a certified doctor's disability.
Okay.
Go with staff recommendation.
Yeah, this is just another
Right.
informational, you're doing
Yeah.
option 1, if we don't like it, stop you now.
Correct.
We're fine with option.
We're gonna have to do a lot more manual tracking, is what we're figuring
So
out, because our
motion
payroll
needed.
is not going to be able to do some here and some here and some here, so it's gonna be some manual stuff.
Throw the $200,000 software out the window.
It'd just be easier to say we're just gonna roll it all into PTO.
Or, yeah,
We
It's a
tried.
whole other union contract to negotiate.
Correct.
Wow.
so are they saying now that your PTO can be used for anything, and whatever the ESST offers?
Because you don't have to document anything for PTO. It's the same thing.
Yep. So that'd be easier.
Yeah, we wanted, well,
I know some entities, I think it's NISWA, is actually adding 6 extra days of sick leave for every employee.
Wow.
Because it'd be
And
easier
that
to
would
have a
be-
different bank.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that would be where your $100,000 question would be coming into
Yeah.
effect.
Leave it the way it is, it
No,
works.
thank you, yeah.
yeah, this looks good, unless it's gonna take all the county's time.
Just a reminder, this was really designed and approved by the legislature and the governor for the private sector. It was not meant for government, and it has been painful for government because of that.
Because we
But of
already
course,
offer benefits.
above and beyond what they're asking, it's just trying to fit it in so we don't have to pay more benefits.
Perfect.
Thanks for the update, Chris, keep on,
Next
keep on.
item
Yeah, next item.
is our social media policy. It's addresses our city-sponsored social media accounts. This policy has been reviewed by all department heads and our city attorney Langel. This is a standalone policy as noted in our employee policy manual, and it'll allow the policy to be modified as needed without needing a full employee policy manual amendment in the future. Staff is asking a motion to approve the attached social media policy as presented.
So,
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion carries. And then the 7th item, you get pulled or you want to pull it?
I want to discuss it a little bit and then have you remove it. Don't take action tonight.
Okay, let's talk about the housing trust fund.
Housing Trust Fund has been operated by the county for several years. It's been a very viable program and operational. They are not able to tax within the city of Brainerd limits because we have our own HRA along with Crosby and Pequot Lake because we each have our own HRA. That being said, they do operate programs in the city of Brainerd and maybe some of the other communities. But going forward, they want an agreement in place so that they can actually tax what is equal to 0.194% of a levy dollar for the Housing Trust Fund to operate in the city of Brainerd. Right now, there are 10 of 18 projects going on that are being funded by the Housing Trust Fund. So it's very viable for Brainerd, but without a resolution, they're gonna have a problem with it, continuing. The other part of it is that, as we're working to get this information to, as soon as we could, we have to hold a public hearing, so that public hearing will be held on January 2nd. That's when we would ask that the resolution be adopted that time.
Great, and yeah, the .194 is per what their levy is right now, they do have authority. They've got room to go higher on their levy with.
On their levy, they do for their operations part of it. The other part of it is, and a very good point, is that this goes on the county's levy. So when it says other county, that's under them. This will not go under the city of Brainerd's levy.
Okay, yeah, I look forward to it coming to us. I think this is a good solution to not much of a problem, but it appeared to be a problem. Any other thoughts?
Nope, all good.
Okay, with that, we'll adjourn at 7:26.